Are we live? Hey guys. Takes me a minute to get situated, but we are live. I want to welcome you, and how's it going this Friday? Are you excited that it's the weekend? Do you have any plans? Anything fun? I'll be working. I've got some video recording to do tomorrow, and then I'll probably be taking Sunday off and relaxing with the family. So what are y'all going to be doing this weekend? But welcome to my wreath shop, which is in the garage of my home. So we've converted the garage into a wreath shop, and that's where I do all of my fun making. So welcome into the wreath shop, and we've got a lot of rain and cold here today, so perfect weather for getting into a cozy area and just crafting, you know what I mean? So we're going to go ahead and get started. If you are new to the channel, welcome! Welcome to my channel. I'm Julie Samaka with Southern Charm Wreaths, where we make beautiful wreaths and teach you how to make and sell them. I want you to stay tuned because this video we will be making a Deco mesh Valentine's wreath. Valentine's is coming up soon. I cannot believe that it's already the end of January. It feels like last week was Christmas. It has flown by for me, and I'm behind on all of this stuff, but so I thought better late than never. Let's make a Valentine's wreath, right? So we're going to be doing Deco mesh Valentine's wreath. And welcome, I see Miss Vicky. Hey, Miss Vicky, and Diane and Peggy and Ellen. Hi guys, welcome. Let's see. Oh, your encoder is sending data faster than real time. Do not know what that means. This is a new time, first time I've ever really tried this live on YouTube this way, so we'll see if it keeps working. Everybody can see me okay? And let's get started. So let me move my comments over here. How about that? We'll just rearrange. If y'all give me a little bit of grace. I've not had to have my computer here so I could see comments. And then we're going to zoom in so that you can see what we're making. All right, we've got a 24-inch work wreath. Everybody asks me what these wreaths are. They are called work wreath. They intend us to work. Actually, they make your work easier because they have these fun little chenille stems already attached. I do prefer these batter ones over those pencil ones, just my preference, because I like to hot glue a lot of things on, and it's just more surface for the glue. Peggy, I look forward to meeting you at Wreath Makers Live as well. Definitely, yes. All right, so we're going to attach the ribbon. This is Deco mesh. I'm just going to attach it into one twist tie and twist it. And then I'm going to measure out about 10 inches and then grab it and twist it. Grab it and attach it to the next set. Well, welcome, Deb. Hey, Johnny, it's good to see you. The sign, somebody's wanting to see the sign before I'm ready for it, but here you go. Isn't that fun? That's what our sign will be. I've got a huge mess here. I'm going to get right to making, and let me know if you have any questions. I like to go back in and just fluff it a little bit. The work wreath is, not a matte, but more of a metallic. It's got a little shimmer to it, which is unlike my personality right now. Because I have been engrossed with all the tax stuff. So when you have your own business, you have to deal with tax stuff. And I'm trying to get everything done by the end of the month, and now it's done. All my training calls are over with for the month. And so now I am getting down to crafting. So I'm excited to be sharing this time with you and just making and crafting. Now, doesn't that just like warm your heart when you can put some time away for yourself in order to craft and make? I love it when we can just do something to, you know, get our mind off of the woes of the world, or a busy work day. Maybe the kids are yelling and screaming. The hubs wants dinner. I know all these things because that's exactly what I escape myself. Hubs wants dinner. Figure it out for yourself. I'm crafting. Welcome. Is it Vella? All right, so now I'm going to just marry these two together and go to the very next level. I like this color of this mesh. It's a little on the thin side, but it's got that window pane look without it being window pane. Back when I first started Deco mesh wreath making, believe it or not, in 2011, I wrote an ebook on how to make Deco mesh wreaths, which really catapulted my business to where it is now. But back then in the day, it had, there was window pane mesh. I don't think they may make it still, I'm not sure. But that was really hard to use because it had a lot of holes. But here, it just gives you the illusion of window pane. So this craft supplies came from a company on Etsy, and I've got it listed in the description of the video, which I'm not sure if you can see it yet or not, because I'm not sure how this new live stream works. But it's called Shop 5th Street on Etsy. It's on Etsy, Shop 5th Street. Or is it 5th Street Shop? Let's see. But if you can see the description of the video, I have it there. You may have to wait until the video's over. Funny how I can't even see my own video on my own phone, but it doesn't matter. As long as I can see your comments, I'm good. Hi from Jacksonville. Is it raining there like it is here in Columbia, South Carolina? Yes, we're working with 10-inch mesh. The work wreath is 24 inches. You know what, now that I'm looking at this, I think we'll be okay. Was kind of wanting to make the loops a little bit larger on the outer ring because we're working with such a large sign. But we'll make something work, won't we? Fifth Street Studio. Thank you so much. That's what it's called on Etsy, 5th Street Studio. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that. All right, I have gone all the way around the outer ring, and now I'm going to do another row. While I'm doing this, let me show you our wreath that we did in our Wreath of the Month Club. How cute is this? This is a silk flower wreath made on a grapevine, and it's actually an arrangement that we made. Here's the back. So it's an arrangement that we made on a grapevine. It turned out super, super cute, very lush and full. Some of my favorite colors for spring. What are some of your favorite colors, and what are some of your favorite flowers for spring? So wreath making, the best way to start, is that what you're questioning? Wreath making? Laguna, how to start wreath making? Watch me on YouTube, number one. And then go and find your focal piece. I always tell, if you're starting new, find your focal piece and then pick your colors from there. So if your sign has, you know, a lot of colors, just pick 3 colors that coordinate well together, and then pick your ribbon and your flowers and everything based off of those 3 colors. And I promise you won't go wrong. You just can't. In my opinion, Deco mesh is a little easier to make than the silk flowers. But, you know, everybody finds the style that they like and prefer. Y'all have some good questions today. We're actually doing a wreath meetup here this Valentine's weekend in the Columbia, South Carolina area for anyone in the North and South Carolina who want to drive this way. It's free, open to the public. I actually have an event on my Facebook page. It shows exactly where we'll have it, but it'll be the Saturday of Valentine's Day. I figured we'd call it Wreath Love Meetup. So sort of you could come and just meet other wreath makers in the area, network, just have fun. Nothing like finding people that are in your wheelhouse. You know what I mean? Nothing like, you know, nobody really gets the obsession of wreath making like another wreath maker, or the ribbon addiction like another ribbon addict. Let's see, almost around. That's exactly why Wreath Makers Live is so much fun too. So we're going to have Wreath Makers Live. If you are a diehard wreath maker, you should consider coming to the only wreath making convention open to the world. We have people from all over the world come. This year we're going to be holding it in Dallas, Texas, right across the street from the Dallas Market Center. So you'll be able to head over there and check that out too. Nothing like checking out the Market. Have you ever been to Market? That's where like all of the ribbon is sold to the retail shops, the mesh, the flowers. It's just like floors and floors of all of these beautiful shops with all of the flowers. That's going to be available too at the Wreath Makers Live, being able to go over there. I'm excited. Oh yeah, Michelle, girl, you're all over the place. You were on my Facebook Live earlier. We're going to use some ribbon here. All of the supplies, again, came from 5th Street Studio. Is that what I said? Yes. I think my ribbon is 13 inches. And don't worry too much about you know, size and stuff like that. You want enough of a coverage on your Deco mesh that it sort of covers some of your poof, but not the whole thing. I mean, obviously, if you like a lot of ribbon and you like your mesh draped in ribbon, then do what you like. So then you would make your ribbon loops, your ribbon tails just a little bit longer. I'm going to do this on every other needle tie, going all the way around. So, Mary, we have, what I have personally is, in my business, is a wreath retreat, but not a convention. The convention is usually more southeast to, so that more attendees can make it. It's a little easier if it's in the southeast versus one side of the U.S. than the other. But lots of people come from the from the south. They come from, the Columbia area and the North Carolina and South Carolina, Virginia. Man, we've got people from Canada coming, and one year we had someone from the Philippines. So it's really just been a mixture of people. A lot of times the women will get somebody to come with them so they don't have to drive by themselves or fly by themselves if they're going to fly. No, you do not have to have a tax ID number to come to the convention. Now, I do believe Dallas Market Center is open to the public, but you can't purchase if you don't have a tax ID number. That's a great question. But you know what I like to do personally? I just like to go look. You can get so much inspiration from watching other people design. You get design tips and ideas just from watching and observing, paying attention to the showrooms. For example, if you go into the showrooms, you'll be able to see what colors are on trend or what's coming up in the trends. That's exactly where I get my trends from. It's just going to see what those wholesale houses are selling. Then I know what's going to be available in the retail shops. Gay's going to be there. Yay! This is looking festive. This wreath, I love the metallic. So this wreath, obviously, the wreath base can work for Christmas because it's red. But like I tell my Wreath of the Month Club members, always look at your supplies and figure out what other seasons or holidays that you can use these for. So this could technically be a, metallic patriotic wreath. It's good for patriotic. It might be good for obviously Valentine's Day, but you've got Christmas. You could almost do a summer wreath. So don't think that the metallic wreath bases are only for Christmas. Oh, I messed up. Put the same ribbon. That's what I get for talking and not paying attention. Welcome, Brenda. Welcome to the ribbon madness. The ribbon love. So you notice the streamers just add a lot of texture to the wreath. There's a lot of texture too with the poofs, but the ribbon streamers add more texture and actually add the dimension because they're out a little bit from the wreath base. I hope to add more dimension as well with our flowers. So I'm big on flowers. I love silk flowers. And I love putting silk flowers in my wreaths, no matter what they are. If it's a Deco mesh wreath or if it's a grapevine wreath. I know some people don't like that, and that's fine. You make what you like. So at any point of this wreath design, you technically could stop. So I'm at this, if you only wanted the mesh to show, you could have stopped at the end of when we put all the poofs on the frame. And then if you want something simple like this design, you could just stop after you have all of your ribbon streamers attached. I've been teaching thousands of people online the art of wreath making, including the Deco mesh, and believe me, there are so many different ways to do it. Just find something that you really like to do and do that. You'll find as you start making your own wreaths that your own style will come out. So we made 9 sets of our ribbon, and I do like using sets, so I like to make the colors and the patterns match. Just gives more interest. Welcome, Lillian. Aw, thank you, Diane. One more set, and then I'm going to show you what we have. So if you are a simple girl and you just like the simple on your door, then you can stop right here and have a really pretty wreath. Isn't that beautiful? How festive is that? So you could stop right here and have it really pretty, but we are going to keep adding. We're going to keep layering. So here is my sign, and again, all the supplies came from 5th Street Studio on Etsy this time. Let's make room for my sign. I'm just going to move these out of the way. This sign is a little bit bigger than I typically like to use. That's why I was thinking about making my loops a little larger on the outer edge. But we'll make it work. I've already stapled my pipe cleaners to the back. So we're just going to pick a corner and then start attaching. And I'd like to make sure that the wire attaches to the metal frame of the wreath and not a mesh loop or a ribbon loop. You really want it to attach to the frame. Susan's asking if we cut our twist ties. I do not cut my twist ties. That's almost a little difficult to say. Twist ties is a tongue twister. I do not cut mine. Some people do, and that's fine. I prefer, I mean, you're paying for it. I kind of like seeing it. You know, why have metallic wreath if you're going to cut them off? I think it adds a lot to it. Here's the tricky part. Now I'm going to make sure that I get this centered. I always use wired ribbon. It just helps to put everything back when we need to, because we're always bending them and moving them. And then don't worry also about the mesh. It's a little bit mashed, but that's really how you're gonna need to get a secure attachment. And if you don't do it tight, it'll be really loose. And if my mesh was a little stiffer, I probably wouldn't feel like I'd need to come so tight into the wreath base. Since it is stiff, I mean, it's not stiff, it's kind of, not stiff as the opposite is soft. I'm like, what is the opposite? It's a little on the, you know, softer side. So I like to push it down a little bit further. And this is exactly what I was saying, making sure you have the wired ribbon, because you could go back in and fluff and position. I'm pulling the ribbon out from under the sign. It wasn't that simple. It doesn't take any time at all. So I attach the sign through the mesh, yes, or around the, you know, around the mesh, wherever you find a place that works. And I'm missing a ribbon. Where are you? There you are. Oh, see, this one came untied. I yanked it too hard. Also, if you use 10-inch mesh, I'm sorry, 21-inch mesh, it probably would have given a little bit of a fuller poof for you. But I like doing the poof method with the 10-inch. 10-inch is less expensive too, in my opinion. All right, so let's see the back. So here is the back, and then here is the front. Let's see if I can. Cute. All right, and then what you want to do is twist these, and then you could cut these off. These are the pipe cleaners. You just cut those off and then push them in. All right, so what we're going to do next is add some flowers. Like, again, you could stop right there if that's what you want, but I like to add flowers. So let's see. kind of flowers do we have? I love these. What are these? Geraniums. We've got some really pretty geraniums. And I've also pulled over some of this. I thought this is really pretty. So this is the Penta. And then we've got, they're calling this a plum blossom. It looks cherry blossom to me. So we've got that, which I kind of like that better. And then we've got some greenery. So do you, get this off. Do you put a Valentine's Day wreath on your door? Do you decorate for Valentine's? How cute is that? So this has got little blue flowers on it. I think that's really cute. That's not too much blue though. All right, I think what I want to do is put it up on the wreath easel. Do I? So I can see my flower placement. Actually, let's just keep it on the table. The question is, how long do I want these? Every wreath is different. Sometimes I want them really long, and sometimes I don't. All right, I think I'm going to go ahead and put this up on the easel. And before I do that, let's get a wreath hanger. Just definitely helps me with my wreath to stay on the on the wreath easel a little bit better with the hanger. So I love using this red because we've got a lot of pink. So I think the red geraniums would look really pretty. You could also use red hydrangeas. We do a little switcheroo. I'm always just adjusting the ribbon a little bit. Once I know where the ribbon can lay, then I know where I can put my flowers. I think I'm going to start with the greenery. So when I add greenery, it to me just softens everything. I am more of a natural, untamed type of designer, meaning I like the garden look. You know, in other words, I went out to my garden and I picked my flowers and then brought them in and constructed a wreath. That's to me is what I like. But you'll find some people who are a little bit more compact. You know, they might like a little compact wreath, and that's fine too. So choose a style that you're comfortable with and then have fun. Try not to overthink anything. A lot of times we buy supplies and then we're like scared to do anything. And don't do that. Don't be like that. Just try something. You never know until you get it, you know, if you're going to get it until you try it. It's almost like the way I teach my business folk. You don't know how to get over the fear until you walk through the fear. And you won't know how to design until you start designing yourself. So this wreath easel came from Nancy Alexander from Ladybug Wreaths. I got it, man, long time ago. Let's save that one for last. It's regarding the wreath easel, if you don't know, like if you want a standing one or one that's from the table, just choose, you know, I don't know, I like to be able to stand up. For me, it's just easier, but obviously if you can't stand for long periods of time, you know, I do have a mat under my feet. You can just get one that you can use on the table. So try to find something that's comfortable for you. So I'm just going to go around. Right, this is a little long. So I'm hot gluing this in using my glue pan that is right beside me. It's getting tangled up in the glue strings. Okay, so I've gone all the way around the perimeter. Can you see that? Can you see all of the wiry greenery? So we've gone all the way around, and I'm going to save a few of these pieces. We still have some left. Those will go on the inside. So I'm going to save a couple of these. Then let's go ahead and do our geraniums. I'll start right here. Where do I get my signs? Asked Teresa. I get them, I mean, really, I get them everywhere. There's a lot of specialty boutiques online. I got this one at 5th Street Studio on Etsy. There's Trends and Gems. There's also Trendy Tree. A lot of places are online. Deco Exchange sells signs online as well. There are a lot, to me, the signs that you find in those, the specialty shops, the little boutiques online, are a lot better than what you find in your local places. Okay, and we've got one more with the bud, which is cute. I'm going to put that right up here. Yeah. And then I'll show you what we have so far. So you can see where we've added the red flowers. I still have some of my green that I'm going to use. I'm not going to get rid of that. I'll go in and fill in with some of our greenery in a minute. But let me get to these pink flowers. Trying to decide how long I want them to be. I like keeping my stems a little longer. I think think it adds dimension. If you have one that seems a little long, you can always cut it, but do that last. Keep it up there because you might find something that it might end up blending automatically and then you don't need to cut it, but I usually cut last. Okay, let's start working on the outside. I think I'm going to cut this one. I'm going to put a steel pick on the end. And this way I can pierce it through the mesh. Yeah, I think these are going to be too long now. Let me trim them. I got my little Yorkie right beside me snoring away. He makes me want to sleep. I'm just going to keep adding our pink flowers. I love a wreath with flowers. Y'all have any special plans for this weekend? Thanks, Miss Beverly. So now we're losing the fact that we've got a square sign, which is what I wanted. I think what I'm going to do is fill in first with these little airy pieces. I already see where this green piece is going to go. So I'm going to start putting in some of these little leaves left over from our geranium bush. Okay. So I've been in the middle of, I've got a new warehouse for my business, for the Southern Charm Wreaths business. So I have been working, trying to get that, you know, set up and ready. And we had a little setback yesterday. We had or the day before, our power didn't work. We were in the middle of trying to get it turned over into our names because we just leased the warehouse. And we went to the electric place and they came out and then they took the meter and turned off all the, you know, which basically turned off all the power. And we went to figure out why, and they said that it had been tampered with. And all but accused us of doing it. And I'm like, why would we tamper with it and then come tell you to turn it on? That doesn't make any sense. And I had to show her where we signed the lease. They still made me pay, even though I didn't do it, which I was like, well, just let's get this light on. It's crazy how you could try so hard to do all the right things and then something happens always, doesn't it? But anyway, we got it back up. So we had the painters there and then we're going to have a construction crew there that's going to be building a loft for us so that we can have a lot more room on the top. So we can get closer to the ceiling and have even more. And I'm like, I need stairs and a railing. Of course, I had to paint it because it was, you know, I just don't want my pretty flowers in there if it's all nasty. Ah, thanks, Lillian. I mean, I'm loving this. I mean, I would keep this for myself. I've got one more leaf. Let me divide this. Let's see, where do we want him or her to go? Yeah, let's put him there. And I think we are done. Let me turn it around. And show you. Of course, the ribbons need to be reshaped, I bet. So anytime I take a picture of the wreath, I always like refluff all the ribbons. Make sure they look good. But here it is. So we can see where we've added in all of the different flowers and the greenery. So we've just got a lot of really pretty flowers on here. I think it adds a lot more softness to the wreath when you add greenery and when you add flowers. So you've got a lot of textures. Thanks, guys. Make sure if you liked this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you'll be the first notified the next time we go live or if we upload a new tutorial. Thanks for those who stuck it out with me and you know, helped me along the way. There were times when I was like, which way do I want to go? And so that's what you're going to have with your own wreath making. So try not to get so caught up in your head and then just kind of go with it. You saw that I added a flower and it was too long. That's okay. I didn't take the flower out. I just trimmed it right there on the wreath and moved it around. So don't overthink. Just have fun. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Bye.